And now I'm back with another one. Y'all already know what's going on. It's your boy Daz, and this my journal. If you new here, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, I appreciate you. Keep tuning in for new information daily or every other day. You know what I'm saying? Today, what I want to talk about is 10 things that I discovered that really be holding me back, or things that I realized that I could do without or I could improve on. So the first things first is me just talking. I had a habit of talking about things instead of just doing it. Like, I know I can do a lot of things. I know I can do things, but I had the habit of talking about it instead of just jumping right into it. So that's what I want to say. That's the first thing first. More actions, less words. I'm gonna start talking way less than I do. I'm gonna start doing way more. I'm gonna let my actions speak for me. Because I realize that when you, as a person, when you have your actions speak for you, they speak louder. I've been watching like a lot of Italian movies, right? Italian movies, or I would say I've been watching like a lot of mob movies. And in the mob, they barely speak. But once they speak, they let their actions do whatever. Like, their actions talk way louder than their words. And a lot of times I realized that me speaking was me trying to be performative or trying to like grab the attention of other people, because I know my potential. So I'm trying to tell people what I can do off my potential instead of just doing it and then them seeing it and them liking it after I do it. So that's the first things first right there. We got to take more action instead of talking about it. And that's what I'm talking about for me. And you can take this up as much as you want to. Like, as much as this you want, take it up. But I'm just talking about 10 things that I'm noticing with me that I'm going to improve on. Another thing is, I got to stop letting little things be bigger than what it is. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes it be the smallest things. I used to like let the smallest things blow me up, and then now it go from this to a whole big situation just because I handled it wrong. And me taking the time back and just understanding myself and understanding what triggered me and what I should allow to even make trigger me, I'm starting to realize that a lot of things is not even worth my time. And then once you start realizing that, you start looking at things from a different angle and start understanding, have a more of an understanding for things. Sometimes people do things because they in that mood. Sometimes people might act out a certain way and be projecting how they feel onto you. So a lot of times I had to learn how to take things for a grain of salt and just say, maybe they just having a bad day. Maybe that's how they feel about themselves. I know how I feel about me. You understand what I'm saying? So I should not let things that's so little become bigger than what they are. And that's why a lot of times I used to have a lot of problems, right? That used to become bigger than what it needed to be. And that's because I would handle the situation wrong. I would handle a situation wrong. I wouldn't look at it from certain people's perspective. I would just look at it from my feelings. Oh, I feel like this, so I would do this. Or this made me feel like that, so I could. No. A lot of times, people just do things unconsciously. People might do something to you unconsciously, and you think they're doing it on purpose. And then now you blow it out of proportion. I learned to look at things from a different perspective, have an understanding to look at things from different perspectives. Everything ain't what it seemed. Sometimes, like, you ever seen a picture where the lion was holding the cub, and it looked like from one angle it looked like the lion was like killing something, but the other angle you see that the lion was literally just carrying his cub. That's what I mean by looking at things from different perspectives. So that's the second thing I learned right there. Just stop letting the little things become bigger than what it should be. If it's little and it's something that you can fix it. If it's little and it's something that you can't, let it go. Just, brush your shoulder off. Let it go, man. The third thing is, F people opinions, man. F people opinions. How you feel about you is the only thing that matter. 90% of people don't know what they want. So they talk shit, but they really admire you. Feel like a millionaire. Feel like how you really want to feel in life. And that's my third point right there. Don't care about people's opinions, because I realize this, right? Everybody that I hang around that's actually doing something in life, they too focused on what they doing to give an opinion on something else. And if they do give an opinion, it's not an opinion. It's more of a criticism, or it's more of something it's more of guidance. I feel like that. Like, they will give it to you more in the sense of trying to help you, not trying to shade you. People that's like, you ever heard this saying? Misery loves company. Misery loves company. So people that like to gossip usually find themselves liking each other. People that like to work or work out usually like to find themselves for each other. That's why they say birds of a feather flock together. But that's why you gotta have your own opinion too. Because if you caring about what everybody think about you, you're not gonna get what you need to get done. You're not gonna get what you feel like getting done, because you're gonna be blocked behind this fear of thinking, damn, if I do this, what might they think about me? If I do this, might they think about me? When you should just be you. You shouldn't care. Like, and the reason I say you shouldn't care is because people gonna judge whatever, right? People gonna judge whatever. And when people don't understand things at first, they gonna judge it. And then after they judge it, they usually copy it or follow it or try to like emulate it in some fashion or form. Let me give you an example. Like, at first Kanye was looked at as weird, or Kanye was looked at as somebody that couldn't make it in the industry. After a while, his wave took off because he was doing something original. If he cared what Jay-Z and Dame Dash or everybody in them was saying, I don't think Kanye would be who he is. And yeah, Kanye is arrogant, but if he toned it down, he wouldn't be Kanye. That's what makes him Kanye. Yeah, he say some things I don't agree with, but he's who he is. First of all, I don't hate anybody, but I'm basically saying that Kanye don't care about what nobody think about who he is or what he's going to do. So that's why you don't care about what people's opinions, because people that's doing don't care about what you're doing. And the people that care about what you're doing don't matter. Don't matter, because the people that's for you is gonna find you anyway. If you're doing some type of art, you putting it out there, your audience gonna find you. So stop caring about people's opinions and how people feel about you, and live your life. This is your life. This is your life. So create the character. Let God be the director, and you be the character that you want to be in your life. If you want to be a millionaire, feel like a millionaire, and don't care what nobody say. Oh, you feeling yourself? Yeah. Matter of fact, nah. You feeling me so much that you think that I'm feeling myself, because I'm chilling. You gotta start. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, just changing the whole perspective on things, because when people feel low of themselves and they see you in such high like you keep yourself to such high standards, you keep yourself in a certain manner, they say, oh, he think he cocky, he think he all that. No, you think I'm all that, because I keep myself upkept. I love myself enough to keep myself upkept to do the things that I said that I'm gonna do. So you look at me that way. So feel like how you feel like a millionaire, feel like an artist. However you feel like you are, feel that way, portray it, live that way. This is your movie. And that's the third thing right there. The fourth thing is, I gotta stop. That's one thing that was like, I had to learn, was stop going back to old things. Stop making excuses to go back to the old things. And what I mean by that is stop making excuses to go back to the things I left, such as people, places, habits, anything that don't align with me. Just stop making excuses to go back. A lot of times, right, I would know something is bad for me, and I would try to like rationalize with myself. and be like, damn, but what if it meant like that? Because I like to look at things from all different angles. So I'm like, I'll be looking at it like, what if it's meant like this? Or what if it's meant like that? But then I would know the real truth. Like in my heart, in my brain, in my soul, I know the real truth. And then I'll be like, I'll be trying to give it a leverage. And I got to stop doing that. I have to stop doing that. And the only reason I started doing that is because I realized as a kid, I didn't attach to anything. I connected to everything, but it didn't attach to nothing. If I didn't like doing it, I didn't attach to it. Even if I did like doing it, I didn't attach to it. And as I got older, being through relationships and getting your heart broken, you start feeling like you gotta. But I realized that I gotta stop attaching myself to my old identity. And every time I make an excuse to go back to doing things that I used that remind me of my old identity or from my past or anything that's just I know don't align with who I am now, I'm taking steps backwards. Don't get me wrong. Life is a dance. So you're going to take some step backwards as long as you take a step forwards too. But let's learn to minimize the steps back. And what I mean by that is like, everything don't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you're not going to build good habits in a day. But if you keep trying day by day by day by day, you're going to keep building them. You're going to keep building them. And then, sometimes you might have an excuse to be like, oh, like, I might have an excuse, right? Like, I might say on a day where I'm fasting, right? I have a day where I'm fasting, right? And then my brain will come up with an excuse like, you could just eat this right now and then fast till, and then do your fast until that time. And it's like, no, I'm fasting right now. And that's something like, that's one of the things that's like an example. That's one of the examples that I can give. Like your brain will try to get you to go back to disobeying yourself, basically, to going back on your word and making an excuse to go back on what you know you leaving already. So anytime you say, you know what, this is not who I am. This is not part of who I'm going to be. This is not part of who I see myself to be. I'm not doing it no more. And stop letting the excuses that you tell yourself be the reason why you go back to what you was doing. That's the fourth thing right there. The fifth thing is, don't force anything. Ask God for what you want and get the energy of having it already. Let me say that one more time. Do not force anything. Ask God for what you want and get into the energy of having it already. What that means for me is, right, I used to force things. I used to be like, nah, if I want this, I gotta like tense up. I gotta work really, really hard for it. And then I realized that when I just chill, not like chill in the sense of, oh, I just like lay back all day. No, when I mean like I do the work, but I chill. Like I do work for an hour, but then I'll chill for an hour. I let things come to me. It's on my mind, but it's not like something that I'm stressing about because I told God what I want. So now me being in the character of what I want or getting in the energy of what I want, I'm just doing it freely. Like it's who I am now. So say for instance, right, I tell God, right, I want whatever. I want a girl. I'm gonna say that, right? Because there's a lot of people that want a girl, right? I want a girl, right? Or no, I don't want a girl, but all right, I'm gonna just use that example. I want a girl, right? Some people will say I want a girl, and then they still doing their old habits. Like if you fapping, you still watching corn. You gotta like picture yourself with a girl. If you was with a girl, would you still be watching them things? Would you still be watching corn? Alright, if you was with a girl, if you had a girl, right, would you still be just chasing every girl? And that's what I mean by getting into the energy. Like you have to feel like you got a girl. Like, you know, I got a girl already. And then when you see the girl that you really want, you say, oh, she right there. Now it's like it's in your hands. And it's 9 out of 10. When you play things like that, it usually just fall right in your lap. Instead of like chasing. Every time, like as a meme, I know every time you chase a girl, you see they try to like play all these cat and mouse games, and it be weird. And I feel like that's the same thing with like life too. When you try like, I remember when I was going so hard, right? To just get like, I'm like, oh, I gotta get at least 100 subscribers on this channel, right? I was going so hard. I'm trying to post mad videos, and then I realized I'm gonna make my video. This is my journal. I'm not doing this to build subscribers and all that. I'm doing this to one day look back at this and remind myself of where I came from, so I could always keep myself sharp and tight. Pause. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta take the stress off of it. And then after that, my subscribers just been growing, and it's growing. And I've been, slacking on the daily, but I can tell you, if I continue to post and just keep giving out information and keep watching my videos, and just keep loving what I'm doing, it's gonna grow organically. I'm not gonna force it. I'm gonna let God do his thing. You know what I mean? So that's number 5 right there. Number 6 is no is an answer. No is an answer. We will figure it out. We will figure out how to get what we want. No is not an answer. We will figure out how to get what we want. And ask God, or ask God, he'll give us a way. My fault. I botched that right there. My fault. But no is not an answer. We will figure out how to get what we want. And if we don't, we got to ask God for a way. That's my new motto right there. Anything that I want, I'm going to get it. Anything that I want, I am going to get it. Anything. And I'm going to find a way. I'm going to make a way. I'm going to just create a way. And if I can't, I'm going to ask God to make me a way. Because this is what I want. And I noticed that when God puts something in your soul and you really want it, because if you ever thought about like you want something, but then you're like, it's all right. Like, no, when you really, really want something, you're like, nah. So when God puts something in my soul, I'm going to get it. Ifs, ands, or buts. Of course, it's going to be trials and tribulations. It's life. This is life we talking about. But I feel like trials and tribulations is just lesson blocks. So when you get there, you learn how to keep what you have. You learn how to keep what you have. Because if every time you go through problems, you crash out. Every time you feel a certain way, you just start crashing out. When you get to whatever you want, you're gonna crash out. You're not gonna know how to handle it. But on your way, if you learn how to handle certain situations, learn how to build handling situations, learn how to be more problem solving, have more problem solving skills along the way. When you get to what you want, it's gonna be way better, because now you know how to actually keep what you want. So that's one thing I'm saying. I'm not taking no for an answer. I don't care what pops up. I'm gonna have to work through it, work around it, but I'm gonna be like water and I'm gonna flow. Nothing gonna stop this flow. Yeah. So that right there is my 6th one right there. No is not an answer. We will figure it out along the way. And if not, God gonna give us an answer, because we gonna keep asking him. Now we on number 7. Focus on what you can do in the present to help the future. The past is gone. Learn from the lesson and move on. Do not stay in past memories. Focus on what you can do to help yourself focus on what you can do in the present to help yourself in the future. Don't focus on the past. Learn the lessons, because the past is gone. I used to be a person like this. I used to sit there and think about the past a lot, just like, oh, this, that. And then I realized that every time I thought about that, I fake was like just living the past. I've been just living that same reality over and over. But as soon as I started start thinking about what I want out of life and like thinking about that a little bit more, of course, at first, it's hard to switch from thinking about one thing all the time to from thinking about your past to thinking about your future all the time. I used to think about my past all the time, like, oh, da-da-da. Now I'm thinking about, what can I do today to help my future? Where do I see myself? What do I want out of life? How do I see myself? Now I move like that in the present day, because I feel like my past is behind me. My past is behind me. If we keep thinking about the past, it's like, I used to hear this saying all the time, right? But it never really hit me until recently. When you driving, right? When you driving a car, you got to keep your eyes on the future, on what's ahead of you. You got to make the moves right now, and you watching what's ahead of you while you making the moves to get there, right? And if you keep looking back, the only time you're looking back is when you park and pause. And if you keep looking back while you driving forward, you're gonna crash. That's like trying to say that you want to live a certain lifestyle, but you keep looking back like, oh, like you want to live like a millionaire, but you keep saving the scraps or being scared to spend money, or not spending, but circulate money, or being scared to like put your money out there. No, you gotta change. You gotta change thinking from the past mindset to building a new mindset. Like, the past is gone. I had to learn that. The past is gone. No matter what we do, all we can do is learn from the past. And don't look at your past as a bad thing. Look at it like lessons. Look at it like a lesson, man. What I mean by that is like, just if like whenever things pop up, put it in a good light and look at the good from it. What did I learn from that? What did I gain from it, and what did I learn from it? And then now, as a man, what would I do different moving forward? And that's how you move. That's how you look at it. Don't let your past hurt and keep grieving. No. Think about the future. Shape your future. This is your life. This is your movie. And if you get into the character who you want to be eventually, it's just gonna feel natural, and it's gonna be natural, and it's gonna become who you are. So focus on your future. Focus on your future. Do what you got to do in your present to get you to the better future, and leave your past alone. Just learn the lessons from it. That's number 7 right there. Number 8 for me is stop looking for a girl and build yourself up and generate the love and energy for loving women, for a loving girl or align with me. What I mean by that is, right, before, in the past, I was out there with like a lustful energy. Meaning like, and I'm being honest with y'all, but I'm being honest with myself. I was out there with a lustful energy. I was out there and I was looking at girls with straight lust, like, oh, I wanna hit, and just hitting girls like. And I realized that when you moving like that, you get a certain type of quality of a woman. You get a certain type of quality of women. And the quality of women that I see in my future moving forward don't align with just like being lustful. Because if you, of course, like, sex is a part of life, so of course that's gonna be natural. But if you learn like women, you can have all types of like women that do fascinating things around you, and now they could build you up. Like, and I look at them more as people now, like somebody that I can build with, people that I can build with. But I want to build myself up first. Let me build myself up and have that energy, so I don't align with the lustful creatures or the lustful vampires, the girls that's just looking for somebody to attach themselves to because they see they doing something, and all they got to offer is sex. I'm not with that no more. I want a girl that got to offer more. Like, they know how to nurture. They nurturing. They smart. They know how to. They smart in business. They know how to work. They creative. Certain things of that nature. And if I'm out here just saying, oh, I just wanna hit this. You're gonna skip past the good ones, or not even gonna skip past. Yeah, because you're not even you're gonna look at the good ones or the ones that that's doing something that can actually benefit you. You're gonna look right past them. Because your mind is like, hey, you ever hear this saying, you see what you focused on? Like, if I go to the club, right, and I'm like, yo, I gotta hit something tonight. I only going to the club, right, is trying to find me something to have a one night stand with. I'm not gonna be looking for something, or I'm not gonna think to look for something that I think got class or doing something with her life. I'm gonna look to get the easiest thing I can find. And if I'm always moving lustful like that, I'm gonna look to get the easiest thing I can find. And I realized that with like going through like my last situation, that you gotta dub things that you don't that like it look good, it glitter, but it ain't really gold. You gotta dub them things and and allow the real gold to come in your life. So what I mean by stop looking for women is I'ma just chill. I'm doing my thing. So now when I can see like when the women do, like when I do start, getting in my mingling bag, and I'm mingling right with the right women. I'm around the right women. I allow myself to be with the women that I can build with, or if they come around, she not just like here for the sex. She putting back into me. You know what I mean? Like certain shit like that. So that's what I mean by that. That's number 8 right there. Number 9 is be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. So like a lot of times we make promises to ourselves and we break them. And when you break them, you're breaking your own word to yourself. And I learned that. A lot of time when you break your word to yourself, you stop trusting yourself. And if you stop trusting yourself, you're not gonna believe when you tell yourself to do something. Or it's gonna feel 30 times harder to actually start something new or do something new because you don't trust yourself to do it. But if every time you get up and you say, I'm working out today, and you go do it, no ifs, ands, or buts, you go get to that workout, guess what? You're going to feel comfortable going to the workout. You're going to feel comfortable doing more things that, you're not really comfortable doing. Or you have some kind of like, I wouldn't say fear, but it's like, sometimes when you're about to start something new, you got that like, that's like that feeling, and you can just break out that feeling because you're used to trying new things. You're used to trying new things. Be a man of your word to yourself. And how I learned this, I started off small. I started saying, you know what? I'm gonna start journaling every day. I'm gonna just start journaling every day. Even if I ain't got nothing to say, I'm gonna just jot down whatever. Whatever happened yesterday, whatever happened today, I'm gonna start journaling. Got into that habit. You keep building a habit. You say, all right, now you see yourself doing that. You start saying, I'm gonna start going to the gym every single day. Or 6 days out the week. That's what I do. I do 6 days out the week. So, but it's not about me. Man, it is about me, matter of fact. It is about me. I do 6 days out the week. So I'm going to do 6 days out the week, every week. No ifs, ands, or buts. And when you see yourself start doing that, I'm going to give myself, all right, little things too. Like it could be like, all right, I want to start meditating. Don't say I'm going to meditate for 2 hours a day. You're not going to do that right away. Be smart. Say something that you actually know you're gonna believe. So you know what? I'm gonna try to meditate for 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to meditate for 5 minutes. Now, when you meditate for that 5 minutes, you're showing yourself you could be a man in your word. You say, you know what? I'm gonna do at least 5 minutes every day. And then you say, you know what? I'm gonna do 5 to 10 minutes every day. Then you just start building the habit of trusting yourself and doing what you actually say you're gonna do. Do it. Like, don't lie to people neither. Be a man in your word to people too. That's another thing I learned too. Like, if I'm not going to do something to somebody, if I'm not going to do something for somebody, I know how to say no now, because you know why? I take my word very seriously. If I'm not going to pull up, if I say I'm going to do something, right, and I cannot get it done, I'm going to tell you no. If I say I'm going to do something, I am going to get it done. I don't care if it costs me now. You know why? Because I got to get it done. And if it costs me, next time that's going to teach me to say no. Exactly. Be a man in your word. I hope you caught that right there. I hope it didn't go over your head. I'm going to do something. If I give you my word that I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. Even if it costs me. Why? Because if it costs me, it's going to teach me next time to say no. So be a man in your word to yourself and to everybody else. Because now, when you start being a man in your word to yourself and everybody else, you're going to, like, I swear, when I started doing that and I just say, I'm going to be 100% just honest. Like, if I say I'm going to do something for you, I'm going to do it. Or if you ask me something, I'm going to be 100% truthful. You just feel like everything's just lifted off your shoulder because you realize that whether they like it or not, you gonna tell the truth, and they gotta accept it. You gonna tell your truth, and they gotta accept it, no matter how they perceive it. And then you start feeling more free, and that builds more confidence. So being a man of your word builds confidence in every way, all around. That's the ninth one right there. Be a man of your word. Do what you say you're gonna do, and if no ifs, ands, or buts. The last one is stop lying to yourself. Be honest 100% of the time. If you get hurt, get better. I had to stop lying to myself. What I mean by that is I was lying to myself when I just tell myself certain things. Like I not even like tell myself certain things because that's wrong. What I mean by that is like I had to stop lying to myself. Like I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna just stop smoking weed for 30 days, right? Sometimes I'll do it. Yeah, I'll get it done. I got it done multiple times. Like I'll quit for more than 30 days, 60 days. But sometimes like when I know that it's a lot going on in life and the only thing that's like my only vice is weed, I'm not releasing, I'm getting a lot of work done, and the only like real like stress relief I got is weed, I started to realize that I gotta stop lying to myself and be like, oh, I don't need weed. Or I used to lie to myself too when I was like heavy on semen retention. Oh, I don't need women. I don't need a girl. What? That's lying to myself. I love women. I love just everything about like sex. Don't get me wrong, but I realized that I'm not giving. It's not the sex that I don't want to be doing no more. I don't want to be giving away my energy to somebody that don't reciprocate that. Cause we give, women take. Us as men, we give, women take. But if you got a girl that you pouring into her and she pouring back into you, it's like y'all grow something. And I'm not saying that, oh, you gotta have a girl, but it's like this, right? I don't want to be just sleeping with any girl like nowadays. Like I know that if I meet a girl, I might take like a week or 2 weeks, just probably a month, just getting to know shorty, to know if we can vibe. Because if we can vibe on a good level now our energies like align a little bit, then I might, you know what I mean? But I used to just be one night stands and have just, you know what I mean? Like I was just running wild. So that's what I'm not doing no more, because that's not who I am, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to get shit done, get work done, do things with my life, become somebody with life, not just chase these women and lie to myself. But I'm not going and chase these women and you know be just draining myself. But I'm not going to lie to myself and be like, oh, I don't want sex. No. What I'm gonna tell myself is learn. I tell myself learn how to control that vice. Learn how to control it, because now if I go out, if I'm here right in the crib, I can chill. I don't need to just like go out and see a beautiful girl and be like, damn, she beautiful. Like I realized that it's so much beautiful girls in this world, and a lot of them, everything that glitter ain't gold. Like I said before, it's a lot of beautiful girls in this world that did a lot of strange, you know what I mean? A lot of strange. So even though they beautiful, you gotta start understanding that's why I'm gonna take the time. That's why I'm taking the time out to actually listen to girls, just listen to them and understand them before I even indulge with them. Because if a girl got if I'm talking to a girl and she got like a negative energy, or she just got down her Betty energy, I'm out of there. I'm not dealing with that. We not exchanging energy. We not even nah. But if I'm dealing with a shorty, she got good energy. She know what she want to do. We vibe. We both on that same energy wave, energy type. Yeah. But you gotta learn how to control that. Because if you don't, now the day when you get up and you I'm horny, you gotta learn this. You know what? I'm horny, but hey, I'm gonna hold it down right now. Let me put that energy into something else. But back to the main point. Lying to yourself is like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go on a 3-day fast," and you've never fasted before. Stop lying to yourself. Say, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna take my weight. I'm gonna take my time getting there. I'm gonna take my time getting there. All right, I gotta do a 3-day fast. I'm gonna take my time getting there. I'm gonna learn 72. I'm gonna at least do 24 hours. Then I'm gonna at least do 16. Then I'm gonna try to do 24. Then I'm gonna try to do 36. Then I'm gonna try to do 48. Stop lying to myself. Whenever I get into certain situations, if it really was my fault, don't look at it and try to make an excuse to think that it wasn't my fault. It was my fault. I'm not gonna lie to myself, because why? If you say, for instance, right, you and a friend had a situation that you did wrong in it, but you was trying to justify your wrong by, just justifying your wrong in any kind of way. You gotta realize, I had to realize that that's wrong. Trying to justify my wrong is wrong. And I gotta stop lying to myself. If I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong. Somebody else in the wrong, they in the wrong. But if I'm in the wrong, learn how to just admit that to myself and shit to the other person too. That's a form of being honest. Like, just learning where you go wrong and learning where you could control your emotions better, or learn where you could, hold yourself accountable for your actions and stop blaming your actions on other external things, when you know that everything really happens because you or me, I'm gonna say, for instance. But yeah, that one hit deep, right? For me it did. But that was 10 habits or things that was just, holding me back, and that's what I'm changing. And hopefully you grab on and one of them help you, because this list, when I read this list now, it definitely helped me day by day. And I'm happy to be able to share it with y'all. I'm happy to share some points with y'all, and I'm happy to be this vulnerable too. I'm happy I got a place that I could be this vulnerable, and I could watch it back and actually learn for myself. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's your boy Daz, and this my journal. Peace.